Hello there, and then welcome to a brand new lesson. This is Happy on Numbers, where we learn maths the easy way. I do hope you are doing well. Now, in this lesson, we are looking at depreciation. When we say depreciation, what does it mean? So, this will be an introductory video where we look at all the terms related to depreciation and then explain the formulas. And then in our subsequent video, that is episode 2, we'll solve some questions related to it. Without much ado, let's quickly look into it. So as you can see on your screen, when you say a machinery, vehicle, or building has undergone depreciation, we say depreciation is the reduction in the value of an asset over its useful life due to use. So as you continue to use the thing, if you want to sell it after you have used it, its price wouldn't be as much as you went to buy it. Wear and tear. So as you are using it, then some parts are wearing and tearing off. They all contribute to its reduction in its value or obsolescence. That is when other models of the asset are being produced. You see, you have an older model of a car and then a new one has been produced. Definitely, if you want to sell this out, you sell it at a lower price. That is what we call depreciation. So for short, depreciation is a reduction in the value of an asset, right? Now, it is important we study this so that anytime you have an asset as a businessman or what have you, you can accurately determine the true wealth of the asset. You see, and then you spread it over a number of years to generate revenue. Mathematically, we'll be looking at some key terms that we will need when solving for depreciation. The first is what we call the cost price or the original price. So since we are talking about an asset here, then the cost price or original price is the initial price you paid for the asset. You see, the initial price you have paid for the asset. Its symbol is C. When you went to buy the car at first, when you built your house at first, when you did what? You bought the machine at first. What was its original price? That is what we call the cost price. The next one we'll look at is what we call the salvage or the scrap value. So the salvage or the scrap value, it is the estimated value of the asset at the end of its useful life. So you actually bought a car and then it will be useful for, let's say, 7 years. On the seventh year, what is the wealth of the scrap? You see, and that is what we call the scrap value or the salvage value. After you have really used it, after it has gone through its prime, what is its value? You get it? So after all of its useful years, where it was helpful to you before now, it started breaking down and all that. Now that it is breaking down, it has become a scrap. What is the value you are estimating it to be? That is what we call the salvage value or the scrap value. Its symbol is the S. It is important we know this symbol so that when we are solving, we can know where to put them as well. One other thing we should take note of when dealing with depreciation is the useful life, represented with L. That is the estimated number of years the asset will be used. So if it is a building, any asset, machinery, vehicle, you want to estimate the number of years you are actually going to use it before it becomes a scrap or salvage. You see, so the estimated number of years, that is the useful life. Now, after all this, we said the scrap value is the value of the asset at the end of its useful life. It is definitely lower, far lower than the cost price, how much you bought it. So what we want to do is from the initial amount to the from the cost price or the original cost to the scrap value. If you look at the difference and we distribute the difference over its useful life per year, we have what we call the annual depreciation. You see, so if you bought something, let's say at, let me just use, let's say $100, right? And then at its scrap value, you are estimating it to be for just a $50. You get it? And it is for a period of 5 years. You see, for a period of 5 years, that is the useful life. That simply means that after every year, it is losing what? A value of $10 every year. That is what we call our annual depreciation. Our annual what? Depreciation. So the annual depreciation represented with D is the amount of value lost each year. The amount of value that is lost each and every year. The next thing we want to look at is the book value. The book value. So apart from looking for what we call our scrap value, the cost price, and all that, in between the years, if you want the value of the asset at any specific point in time, we call it the book value. So after buying it at the original cost, you see, after using it for 1 year, before its useful life, its value at any point in time at all is called the what? The book value. This topic is going to be very, very practical and very useful, and you would love it. Now, with that said, let's look at the formulas we need to solve for depreciation. So as you can see on your screen, the formula for annual depreciation, D, is giving us the cost price minus the salvage value all over the useful life. You see, we can rewrite it as, so D equals our C minus S over what? L. And then the book value after T years, the book value, we said the book value is the what? The value of the, what you call, the asset at any point in time. So the book value is what you have here as C minus your what? D times T. So the cost price, that is the original price, minus the depreciation over time. As in depreciation times time. That's what I mean, right? So these are the formulas we'll be using in our next session, where we'll take practical questions and then try our best toward write our parameters and then find their solutions as well. This is how Beyond Numbers, where we learn maths the easy way. If this video was helpful and this is your first time on this channel, you can always choose to subscribe so that anytime I release a video, you'll be notified as well. Stay safe and bye for now.